loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hell, I'm going to come and deliver them broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to save.
Young niggas ain't tough. Young niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatah. Yahweh Shema Alatah Bashim Yahushua to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, a card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite School of I.S.U.P.K. under Commander Junior Hunt. Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander Junior Hunter under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's going to be in H-Town, baby.
It's going to be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh?
2021, I.S.U.P.K, 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I'm siding with the Lord, of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatah. Yahweh Shema Alatah Bashim Yahushua to the sisters. I'm President Captain Yatazak with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, telling you to come out to the 52nd annual Passover under Commander General YAHANNA. Yeah, man, it's going to be at the ranch, man, the BH Ranch. And it's going to be a glorious event. April 24th, come out, come to Houston, Texas, where we going to serve the Lord the way he's supposed to be served. You understand? We're going to celebrate the destruction of our enemy in the BH Ranch, and it's going to be a glorious event. Make sure you come out, man. It's going to be a $200 fee to get in, but let me tell you something. You're going to enjoy yourself. This is going to be the best event you've ever been to in your life. So I'm going to tell you, man, 14149 Players Street, come out, man, and enjoy the brotherhood and sisterhood under Christ. With that, shalom.
All right, let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Shalom, Israel, shalom. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Barakatham to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashim Yahushua to the sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group or Christian organization, man. And we teach the truth according to the Bible. And that's that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the real ethnic Jews according to the historical records that's found in the very same Bible that we've been taught that we should believe all our lives. Like our grandmothers and our mothers raised us to believe in the Bible. The problem is they never took the time to open it up and understand it the way it ought to be understood. You understand? So our understanding of the Bible comes from a perspective of Christianity.
Right.
I know that sounds strange. You're like, yeah, Christianity, the Bible. You put two and two together. When Christianity and the Bible are two separate entities. You understand? The Bible is the black man's constitution, our history, and our laws, man, our culture. That's what the Bible is. It has nothing to do with any religion at all. Christianity, on the other hand, is a man-made religion given to black people to make black people better slaves to our enemies. Right. You understand? You want to know who our enemy is? Look at who the face of Christianity is. Right. That's who we've been taught to serve. Those people. So-called white Jesus or Caesar Borgia. Right. You understand? That's why the I.S.U.P.K, we go out and hit them street corners and we teach these classes every day of the week because we have so much work to do when it comes to waking up our people. You understand? When it comes to erasing the brainwashing of white supremacy on our people. You understand? Christianity is the biggest tool of white supremacy on black people. You understand? I'm always 7,000 Kazaka Ahmad. This is I.S.U.P.K, Washington, D.C. And tonight is the Brotherhood class, right? And the topic of tonight's class is why can't Hebrew Israelites get along? I know there's so many of you Christians out there and a lot of fellow Hebrew Israelites that's not in here are wondering what is going on. Why can't Hebrew Israelites get along, man? We should all be together. We should all be united, man. We all family. We all Israel. We should be together. Tonight, I'm going to free your mind of why we don't all get along and why we shouldn't all get along. Right. And then I'm going to use the Bible to prove it to you because you didn't know this was in the Bible. Right. Because once again, who you learned the Bible from was our enemies. Right. You understand? Our oppressor, the so-called white man, through Christianity, which is his religion. Right. Right. Before we get started, if you got any questions, you type them in the chat. Any questions, feel free to type the questions in the chat. We're going to get to any questions that we have in the room first. Go ahead, brother.
Judah and Tamar. So he was just purchasing a harlot or what? What was his intentions?
Let's go to it. That's a good question. If you tuned in, everybody like and share the stream. Like and share the stream. We're going to go into it. We're going to get it in tonight. But let's go into the brother's question. He wanted to know what was Judah's intention with Tamar. Anybody know where that's at? No sweat. Genesis 38. I'm trying to give y'all a chance. No sweat, you know. Give y'all a chance to sharpen your teeth. That's a UPK term right there, right? Sharpen your teeth.
I like that.
Yeah, Let's start at verse 1. Go ahead. Loud and clear for the people about the show.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira.
Now let's get some backdrop to what we read. Who was Judah? Somebody just make it real sweet and short. Who was Judah?
One of the sons of Israel, and where we come from, what I come from myself.
That's right. Judah was one of the 12 sons of the brother named Israel. That's where you get the 12 tribes of Israel from. From the 12 sons that Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, had. And Judah was the fourth born son from Jacob. You understand? And we read about Judah right here in particular. So he went down from his brethren. You understand? Keep reading verse 2.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 2. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her.
So for those of you that don't understand the Bible, for Christians, and I'm not trying to be funny, this is a school right here. So we break this down so that our people have an understanding of what we're reading.
Right.
What does it mean when he said he took her and went in unto her?
He laid with her, had sex with her.
He had sex with her. You understand? This is Old English. The way we speak now is not how we always used to speak. You understand? So this brother, when it says he took her, it doesn't mean he raped her. You understand? It's just saying, like, I take you as my wife. When at the altar, they say, do you take such and such as to have, to hold? You understand? When they ask you, do you take? They're not asking you, you know, so are you going to rape this person? They're saying, are you going to have this person? And that's what it's saying right here. So Judah took this Canaanite woman and he had sex with her. That is the marriage, because sex is marriage. Keep reading.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 3. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Er.
Right. So Judah and this woman, Shua, had a son, and his name was Er. Keep reading.
Verse 4. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan.
Right. So she had a second son. They had a second son, Onan. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chazar when she bare him.
Right. So now you read about Judah had 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar.
So right here, now we're reading about how Judah, he found a wife for his firstborn son, and her name was Tamar. Right? Keep reading.
And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Verse 8. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother.
Now this may sound strange to you, because we have been so far removed from our culture.
Right.
You understand? Black culture in the Bible is absolutely brotherly. You understand? And we can't really grasp it. To us, living in America underneath the influence of our oppressor, we have a perverted and deviant mindset off the break, because we're growing up in a perverted and deviant place.
Right.
So a lot of times when we read about our customs and our culture found in the scriptures, it sounds a little off to us.
Right.
You understand? That's no sweat. That's why brothers in here are here to do the research and to break it down. You understand? To a lot of people, they see us dress and we seem like we dress funny to them.
Right.
You understand? When they see us on the streets, they say we dress like Power Rangers, you know, or we look like a biker gang, you know. I remember one time, it was me and Tamar in Union Station doing interviews. And some younger brothers came up to us and asked, was we a dance group? That was the first time I heard it. I laughed, but I was low-key offended. Like, brother, do I look like I popped and locked? Do I look like, you know, up here doing all this and all that, brother? But to everybody else, the way we dress, the way we act, the way we talk, it's strange. When in all actuality, what we're doing is coming back to our real culture. The culture that we have in America now, the way we dress and talk now, is not real black culture.
Right.
The things that we associate with black culture in America isn't really our culture.
Right.
Somebody name me one thing right now in class that is associated with black people in America. Name me one thing. Raise your hand. Go ahead. Music. Music is not just black culture. You know that, right? You know every race of people loves music. Every race of people makes music. But because America has taught us to be slaves, we think that that's our thing.
Right.
When every race of people makes music. You understand? We've been taught that all we are good at is singing and dancing. So we associate, you know, black people sing, even though we are the best at it. But music is not our thing. Everybody sings. Everybody dances. But in America, they want us to be the singers and dancers. Because as long as we're singing and dancing, we're not thinking about how we're being oppressed and destroyed. You understand? Go ahead, Water.
So like, sir, if I may, driving certain cars.
Driving certain cars. A lot of people associate black men driving fancy cars with drug dealing, you understand, or with hustling. When drug dealing and hustling is not black culture.
Right.
I know a lot of brothers or sisters may experience this, where you can be out partying in DC with you in Adams Morgan or wherever city you in, you out partying or kicking it, and random white people will come up to you and ask you, where can they get some weed? Hey man, you know where I can get some bud? You know where I can get some marijuana? Where I can get some treated? Like, why the hell do you think I know where to get the weed?
Right.
Because the world associates everything negative with black people.
Right.
You see how we've allowed ourselves to take on a culture that's not really black culture.
Right.
Instead, we not known for the honorable things. We not known as the race of people that doesn't eat pork, that doesn't murder, that doesn't sleep with other people's wives, the way the Bible says.
Right.
You understand? We have to come back to our culture. And what we read about right here is something that's found in the law, where if a brother's brother dies before he has a son, when that brother dies, he would take on his brother's wife and have a son in his name. Now that sounds strange, but that's our culture, and it's in the spirit of brotherhood, because now that sister won't be lonely. You understand? And now that sister has a child, and now you give a child to in your brother's name. It sounds strange. It's okay. A lot of things seem strange to you. Telling you Christ is black at one point was strange.
Right.
So just put that into perspective. Keep reading.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went unto his brother's wife, he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother.
Now, we went into this last week, and we go into it briefly so we can get to the brother's question. What happened is, this brother, he knew that if he had a child with this sister Tamar, this first one wouldn't be of his name. This would be in honor of his brother. And him being a selfish, unbrotherly, dishonorable brother, he said, I'm not about to get this woman pregnant. So he pulled out and spilled his seed on the ground. You understand? Like, a lot of people are surprised this is in the Bible, because you think the Bible is fairy tales and bedtime stories and Greek mythology, when the Bible is literally chronicling. What's the word? That's the right word. Chronicling. Listen, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's documenting black history.
Chronologically.
I think I said it right. Y'all saying it worse than me. Y'all know the word. I'll go with what I said. But no, the Bible is documenting actual black history. You understand? If you are a Negro in America, we're reading about our forefathers and just how wicked these Negroes were. Right. Not all of them, but we read about the ones that did come from our lineage, that were before us. And this brother, he didn't want to get the sister pregnant, so he pulled out when it was time for him to orgasm, for lack of a better word. Keep reading.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 10. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also.
So now we're reading about Judah had a first son, and he was wicked, so the Lord killed him. His second son didn't give a damn about his brother and didn't follow what the Bible says, and so the Lord killed him. So now Judah had 3 sons, he down to 1. Tamar still alive, the wife of Judah's first son. Keep reading.
Verse 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest
peradventure
he die also. And his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house.
So Judah is asking Tamar, his daughter-in-law, not to be with any other man, not to marry another man. This is one of the scriptures, too, that confirms sex is marriage. You understand? This is why he didn't want her to lay down with no other man, because he knew sex is marriage. He's saying this because he wants his younger son to be able to fulfill what the Bible said, where if a man dies before giving his wife a child, his brother is to take the wife and give a child in honor of the brother. So Judah knew that the youngest son would be the only chance of this happening. And if the younger son wasn't able to marry the sister, he wouldn't be able to do that. And the Lord could possibly kill him too. Keep reading.
Verse 12. And in process of the time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted. And went up unto his sheep hearers to Timnath. He and his friend Korah, the Adulamite.
So what happened here is Judah's wife died now. You understand? Judah's wife, she passed away. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. Verse 14. And she put her widow's garments off from her and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself and sat in an open place.
Now, let me show you just how modest and honorable our culture used to be. It still is in the Bible, but how far we've gotten away from this. We're reading about this sister Tamar about to present herself as a prostitute. Are you reading the things she wore? Like, you see a prostitute now on the street. What does she have on? Or better yet, what's the lack of what she has on? You see a prostitute right now, she barely has anything on. Where even our culture was so strict and honorable, where even as a prostitute, this sister is covering up, she putting a veil on. You understand? Like, it's wrong to be a prostitute, but at the same time, it's just showing you the standard that our people had, where she knew, okay, I'm gonna be able to go present myself as a prostitute, but she still knew to cover up, put a veil on. She still knew that it was modesty, even though she was going to do something that was an absolute sin. Prostitution is a sin according to the Bible. Keep reading.
Which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife.
So right now, this sister, she waiting on the younger son to get older so that she can become his wife. Right. And she realized she didn't wait all this time, and the youngest son, they got older, and she hasn't been given to him to be wife. You can imagine this sister got anxious. You understand? She's probably like, what's going on? Like, I need a husband. So her being anxious, she decided to do this. She presented herself as a prostitute. And when it says she sat in an open place, which is by the way. When it says the way, that's Old English for the road. You understand? Like by the wayside, you understand? Or go in the way. Go ahead.
Sloppy. She went and posted up on the corner.
That's exactly what it is. She went on the strip. You understand? Like everybody knows, that's where prostitutes go, on the strip. You understand? This is what this sister did. Keep reading.
Verse 15. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face.
When Judah saw her, because remember, she found out where Judah was going, so she went and positioned herself strategically as a prostitute on the way to where Judah was coming. And Judah seen this sister, and he thought she was a prostitute because her face was covered. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 16. And he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
So now Judah, he's seeing a woman that he thinks is just a prostitute. He don't know this is his daughter-in-law. You understand? This lets you know, brother. Brothers, the tribe of Judah has always had a thing for whores. You understand? She may not be an actual whore, meaning she's selling herself. But brother, you know, look at the track record of the women you've been with. You know, you have a thing where you into women that are just not right. You understand? That's always been Judah. You look at the scriptures, it says, Judah's sin is etched with a diamond tip pen. You understand? Meaning, when Judah goes to sin, he's dedicated to sinning. You understand? Like, he's like, I'm doing this. You understand? Just think about you. Think about your life. Think about how far you went to sin. Forget about it. I know the old me, I walked in snow a couple miles to go get drugs. You understand? But meanwhile, I couldn't drive to work. You understand? But when it comes to sinning, we'll make a way. We'll find a way to do it. And this is who we come from. This is our forefather we read about. He went and he was one of this prostitute. He didn't know that was his daughter-in-law. Keep reading.
And she said, what wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? Verse 17.
So right here, they doing what they call the negotiation. Right. You know, they working out the prices. You know what I'm saying? 30 for 2 hours, you know. I pray you don't know. You in here, you don't know, because you that's not you no more. You know. But that's what they doing, negotiating the prices. And she's saying, what you gonna give me for you to get all of this? Lay down with this. Keep going. Go ahead, brother.
Like the average Facebook girl.
That's exactly what it is. It's a website called Backpage. Backpage is literally dedicated to that. And speaking of Backpage, we're gonna go into that later on about how these fake Israelite groups go on Backpage looking for trannies to have sex with. That's for later. You got to stay tuned if you're watching. Stay tuned. But wait, there's more. Then keep reading.
Verse 17. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? Verse 18.
So right here, Judah is saying, I'm going to get you a young animal. You understand? A kid is usually a baby goat. You understand? A kid from the flock. He's saying, I'll give you this. Right? And she's saying, what will you give me until you send me this? Like the sister is saying, like, you're not going to hustle me, man. You about to sleep with me. You need to give me something that I know guaranteed that you're going to pay me. Since you ain't going to pay me right now. You had a question?
Oh, now you asked.
Oh, okay. No sweat. Keep reading.
Verse 18. And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet, and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in thy hand.
Thy signet. What is a signet? Somebody pull up the definition. Somebody pull up on their phone the definition of signet. This is for all the Christians, because I know your pastor is not going to break these scriptures down. They don't care that words mean things, because that's what words are for. They have definitions. I say this to say Christianity is not only satanic, it's idiotic. And here we get rid of all that garbage. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
Signet is a ring.
What does the definition say? Go ahead.
Slaughter, sir, if I may. Signet, a seal used officially to give personal authority to a document in lieu of signature.
What does this tell you? What do we wear that is a signature? What do black people wear to this day that's a signature?
Our name.
Where yours at? You got your name on you right now?
No.
Slaughter. The shield of David.
Get it, brother, hand. The shield of David. Right here. Signet. You understand? This, what you see right here, and this is why the breakdowns in this school are so important, because you wouldn't be able to understand what's happening here if you don't have the basic breakdown of what the world calls the Star of David.
Right.
What you see right here, this is not a star. You understand? It's associated with David, but this is not a star. What you're actually seeing right here is David's signature in the Hebrew. David's name in the Hebrew is Da-Wa-Da. The letter for Da in the Hebrew is a triangle. Da. The letter for Wa in Hebrew is Wa. The brother will write it bigger so everybody can see it. Otherwise, I'm going to bump the show. Write it a little bit bigger. Da-Wa-Da. Whenever you write your name, do you write it how it looks in print? No. You add your flavor to it. Okay. You add your style to it. This is literally David signing his name in the Hebrew. It's his signature. And that's what we wear, his signet. You understand? Because the Bible says the Lord will establish Israel out of the house of David. Christ comes out of the house of David. You understand? Judah is out of the house of David. You understand what I'm saying? Well, Slacky, it's the other way around. Okay. You understand? But this is what this is right here. Can everybody see that? Da-Wa-Da. Now, in this case, this wasn't the actual shield of David, because, of course, David came after Judah. But I'm just showing you how this brother, he was wearing something that showed his family's name. You understand? It could have been his name. You understand? Or it could have been Israel. He's wearing something that signified who he was. But later down the line, after David, this is when you'll see the things that we wore, our signets, would Dawada, what we call the shield of David. You understand? Go ahead.
So the answer to that question, as far as when she asked for the signet, it wouldn't be signature, it would be the shield of David.
No, that's what I just said, because David came after Judah. That's why we can say
Okay.
David is from the tribe of Judah,
Okay.
because Judah is the progenitor before David. So right here, this signet is something that signifies what family he comes from. So something that signifies he comes from Israel.
Okay.
Because he's a direct son to Israel. So it's probably something that signifies, you know, he's the son of Israel. Go ahead, Rob.
So like if I may, in the beginning of verse 18, when it says, what shall he give him? Give her. And she said that signet, just starting off, it's like signing a contract.
It's definitely like that. It's saying that.
You pin your signature on is that you agreeing to the terms.
Right.
To the what they say,
terms and conditions.
Yeah, terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Right there,
That's exactly what it is. But in this case, he had something on there. You understand? And it says thy bracelets. You see what these are right here. To let you know, we follow our ancient culture right here. Go ahead.
She wanted something legal, basically.
Not necessarily legal, because prostitution, of course, is illegal. You know what I'm saying? But she wanted something where it's solid, exactly. Like if he try to play me, I can pull this, I can pull his card, and then he gonna give me this, or I'm exposing. Like, females love that word. I'm gonna expose this. I'm gonna show everybody the screenshots and expose you. Sisters love that boy. Go ahead, bro.
Salagi. In other words, she was asking for all this for leverage or for insurance.
Exactly. Just think about prostitution today. I'm glad, brother, you brothers don't understand. You understand? That's a good thing. But for those out there, you nasty folks that's watching, you know how this goes down. You understand? She wants to be guaranteed that she's going to get paid. So she's asking for something in the meantime until she gets her payment. Go ahead.
Not to mention, she knows who he is.
There you go. And that's the point that you want to get to. She knows who he is, and she's doing this for a reason. This is a setup right here. You understand? So I can keep reading.
And thy staff that is in thy hand, and he gave it to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. Verse 19. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her.
Read it again.
And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood.
Okay, skip up, because I missed when you read the part. You want
to start verse 18 over?
Yeah, go to verse 18.
Genesis 38, chapter 30, Genesis 38, verse 18. And he said, we pledge shall I give thee? Well, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thy hand. And he gave it to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him.
So this brother just went and he had sex with her, and she got pregnant. Keep reading.
Verse 19. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood.
So now she went to change her clothes. Keep reading.
Verse 20. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adulamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not.
So what's going on now is Judah is holding up his end of the payment. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send this little baby goat to her so she can give me my stuff back. You know, this whore got my stuff, and I need my things, my belongings. You know, I don't want her to have no proof that I laid with her. He don't know who she is. You understand? She knows who he is, because this is part of her whole setup. Keep reading.
Verse 21. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place.
So now he asking everybody, what was that prostitute, man? Y'all seen that prostitute that was out here chilling? Where she at? Keep reading.
Verse 22. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. Verse 23. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be ashamed, be shamed. Behold, I send this kid, and thou hast not found her.
So Judah is like, I need to get her payments. I need to pay her, lest we be shamed. Meaning, if I don't pay her, she's going to put me on blast. She got something with my name on it. You understand? She got my belongings. She got my staff. If you understand our culture, our staffs that we carried had our family lineage on it. We used to put our family lineage on our staffs. You understand? From Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. You understand? So right here, he like, she got things to identify me. You understand? Like, if I don't pay her, he not understanding that she's going on purpose. She's not planning to expose him per se. She's doing this for a different reason. But he don't know it's her. He just think it's a random prostitute. So now he nervous, like, man, this broad about to just expose me to be a disgusting sinner. Keep reading.
Verse 24. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom.
So now the word gets back to Judah, the same brother that slept with the prostitute that happens to be Tamar. Right. Word got back to him that she's pregnant. You understand? You can imagine black people how we talk. You know, they hyped it up like, yeah, man, she's pregnant, man. She was sleeping around on your boy. She's supposed to be married to your son, and she done been out here whoring, and now she's pregnant. Keep reading.
And Judah said, bring her forth and let her be burnt. God damn.
Ain't this hilarious? Like, this brother just paid for a prostitute. And now when he finds out that his daughter-in-law has possibly sinned and was a whore, he talking about bring her so she can die and pay for her sins. Don't be this brother right here.
Right.
This is every fake Israelite group that's not in here. Meaning they are so quick to render a judgment to everybody else, but when it comes to themselves, they don't see that they ought to be rendered judgment. Like, this brother literally just went and paid for a whore. He didn't know this was Tamar. He went and paid for a whore. And now he found out that his daughter-in-law was a whore. Possibly, you know, it's not true, but he found out his daughter-in-law was a whore, and he ain't got no mercy for her. It's like, well, if that's the case, you should be burnt too. But of course, he's not looking at it like that because he's wicked. You understand? This is what he's doing right here is wicked. Keep reading.
Verse 25. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law. Saying, by the man whose deeds are, I am with child. And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet and bracelet and staff.
So when she was brought forth to Judah, her father-in-law, to explain herself, she was saying, I got pregnant by the man these things belong to. Ooh-wee. Here go the setup for the cut right here. Go ahead, Barack.
So this like a grand slam, unless I'm just hearing this wrong, because she knew who this was, right?
She knew. His face wasn't covered. She knew. As I said, she set this up just like a sister, black woman today. Yeah, when black women put their mind to something, they get it done, man. Whether it be good or bad. You understand? Black women sent the stupid white man to the moon. While he's trying to figure out how to get to the moon, it was black women doing the groundwork and doing the calculations and doing the physics and the science to get his stupid self to the moon.
Right.
And it's that same black woman when she's mad that will slash your tires and burn your car.
Right.
You understand? And beat up your side chick. You understand? She's the same one. When they put their mind to something, they do it. So for all the brothers out there that they got a lazy woman, don't accept that, brother. If she wants to do something, she's gonna get it done. Listen, they got a whole thing on the internet called Black Twitter. That's not black men running that on the internet and finding out where people live. Black Twitter is ran by black women. And say as soon as we find out a white woman, Karen, does something, black women go to work. I'm still astonished by it. I'm trying to figure out what black woman, how are they doing this? In 3 hours, they got the broad name, where she worked, her auntie, her mother's maiden name, her middle school teacher. They got the whole nine. You understand? Black women in the right spirit, brother, are dangerous. You understand? That's what we need. You understand? This sister right here set Judah up, and she about to lay it out on him like, yeah, nigga, you talking about kill me. No sweat. I got pregnant by the man who these things belong to. So you tell me, take a look at these and what you think about this. Keep reading. Go ahead, Brock.
Nah, Salagia too. Like if I may add, what you're saying is so heavy too. But it's almost like this sister right here. It's like a sister that's not in the truth that, you know, feels like this plan is going to work for her benefits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it seemed like that's what it's headed to. Like she think like, man, if I set him up, you know what I'm saying, he going to have to pay me. I'm having to get right. You know, not thinking that she's also sinning against the Lord as well. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know, the sisters today that's lowest in the world that think that them doing this setup is going to put them on top or get them, you know, put on. Right. And that's what she thinks she about to be on as well. Like she thinks she about to be put on by exposing Judah. Judah was wrong too, but you know what I'm saying? You don't even know your husband.
Yeah, listen, man. That's so many of our sisters because we've let America dictate our culture and what we value. And so because we value money, many black women subject themselves to things that are absolutely shameful in order to achieve this goal, to achieve this. That's why you have many stories coming out later on of sisters that would reveal what they did to get this acting career, this singing career. Hell, forget that. They got a whole term the white man it's called survivor sex. For you average everyday black women, you'd be so surprised how many black women have sex just to pay her rent or to get her car fixed. You understand? I'm not making this up. The white man has done studies on this. That's why he has put our people in severe oppression and poverty, because he knows when they're put in a corner and backed against the wall, they'll compromise. They'll do things that are absolutely shameful. And our women are doing it, have done it the same way brothers do it. You know how shameful it is for a brother to sell drugs to his people? It's absolutely shameful. To sell drugs, period. Because I know some drug dealer out there right now. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna sell it to white people. I'm gonna uplift my people by selling drugs to the white man. No, brother. Selling drugs, period, is shameful. That's not our culture. It's a shameful thing. Somebody had their hand raised. Go ahead.
Sorry if I may. Just what we go through in the entertainment business in Hollywood, how they sell themselves up.
Exactly. We read about it. I remember at one point in time, y'all may have forgot about this. At one point in time, a couple of years ago, all the talk was about the Illuminati. You remember that? Right. And we were so obsessed with who slept with who to get here, and who all was gay, and who all would sacrifice babies and was eating blood. At one point in time, that was the wave. But a lot of those things, the information, it has some truth to it. We don't entertain conspiracy theories in here, but, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, we can assume some of the things are true. Right. It's not far-fetched to believe a man would have sex with another man for millions of dollars when black men are having sex with other men for free right now. It's not far-fetched to think that black women would have sex for a movie role when black women are having sex to be flowed out, what they call it, flued out. You understand? And go to some restaurant and chill for 3 nights in some hotel. They're doing it for free. This is what our people have been reduced to. You understand? And this is not a new thing. We've always been sinners, and the Lord has always punished us for it. I don't want to get off topic. Go ahead.
Back on her, she thought she was going to get like pushed away, like, you know, she wasn't going to get what she was promised. So she did the old keep a nigga, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Break that down from what you mean.
The old keep a nigga, baby. Like when a lot of women think that a dude is about to leave them or doesn't like them like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm pregnant.
On purpose.
Right. Or lie and say they're pregnant. Have their homegirl that's pregnant pee on the stick and show you. And your dumb self give her $300 for an abortion that never happened. Right. I know. Listen, I know the game. I got sisters. You know, I got aunties. I know the setup. You know, but this is what's happening pretty much because she wanted a husband, and because she wasn't given the younger son like she was promised to be a husband, she took things into her own hands. Let's keep reading so we can answer the brother question and get to the other questions.
Verse 26. And Judah acknowledged them and said, "She hath been more righteous than I."
He's saying that she had his belongings and he had to man up and take that and say, God damn. I can imagine Judah. God damn, girl. Yeah. Damn, girl. You better than me. You a good one. You a good one. You understand? He had to take that and say, she is more righteous than I. Meanwhile, he just wanted her to be killed because he thinking she a whore, knowing he just paid for what he thought was a whore. You understand? He had to man up and say, she is more righteous than I. Keep reading.
Because that I gave her not to Shelah, my son, and he knew her again no more.
Because he knew that he didn't give her to his younger son like he told her. You understand? So this is why she's doing this. Keep reading.
Verse 27. And it came to pass in the time of her travail, that behold, twins were in her womb.
All right, so we'll stop there. So what was your question again, Dwayne?
I was just confirming that he bought a harlot.
Right.
He bought a prostitute.
What he thought was a prostitute, because it was really
like
her.
his intention.
Yeah, you're right about that. His intention was he full out, I wanted to sleep with this whore. But she wasn't actually a whore. She was just trying to get what was promised to her, which is a son from that family line. And what she did. You understand? She didn't get it from the son, but she got it from the father. You understand? And that's not unlawful either. You understand? For those that didn't know that. Go ahead.
And would that have kept him from getting killed by God?
In what way? What do you mean?
Like he ended up not. His intention was wrong, but he actually fulfilled his promise in some way.
Oh, so you saying because he intended to sleep with a prostitute, should he have been killed?
Right.
All right. Is everybody killed for every sin that they do?
No.
It's one of the things where it doesn't say it, but he wasn't killed for whatever reason. It's because it's not in here, we're not going to surmise or try to, assume that. But it doesn't say it, but he just wasn't killed for that. It could be the Lord knew that she wasn't actually a prostitute, or it could be the Lord just wanted this all to play out. We don't know that because it doesn't say it. You understand? That's a good question. So, like, Rock, we got any questions online?
No.
Any questions in the room? Any questions? No sweat. So let's get to the topic. Ooh-wee. Why don't Hebrew Israelites get along? I know if you watching, you probably like, yeah, I was wondering this. We're going to go into tonight that not only us not getting along with everybody is biblical, the Lord wants it to be this way. You understand? And I'm going to show it to you, and it's so hard to understand because we've been taught one thing about the Bible that is not true. Right? So first, where we going to go to first? Let's go to 1 Peter 2:9. 1 Peter 2:9. Go ahead, Barack.
God, no sweat. Oh, can got it. Go ahead, read.
Give 1 second.
First Peter's in the New Testament.
Go ahead, read, Barack. 1 Peter 2:9.
God. The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into the marvelous light.
Who is this talking to? Go ahead.
Israel.
The so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today.
That's right.
The Bible calls us Israelites. Right. And the Bible saying we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, man. You understand? A holy nation. The word holy in Hebrew is Kodash, and it means to be separate.
That's right.
I'm going to show you right here, right now. The Lord is not a God of inclusivity or diversity amongst other peoples. The Lord does not want black people to mingle with other races of people. And when I say mingle, I mean because we're in slavery, we have to do business with these people. We have to work on their jobs. We have to pay their taxes. That's why Christ said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
Right.
When they asked him, should we pay taxes to the Romans?
Right.
Because we're in slavery and captivity, we have to deal with these people. But we don't have to break the law and taking them on as our own people. Meaning interracial marriage is a sin in the Bible. You understand? That's absolutely a sin. It's not my words, it's in the scriptures. I can prove it to you. What we're reading right here is first we're going to get the characteristics of the Most High to let you know why don't Hebrew Israelites get along, and in particular, why the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA separates itself from everybody else in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. That you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into the marvelous light. Verse 10. Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God.
In times past, we were not a people, man. But now we are the people of God. The Lord has chosen us. You can't be mad at the Lord choosing us to be a people. If that's the case, you got to be mad for being born. You got to be mad for the Lord giving humans 2 eyes.
Right.
You know, you got to be just a weirdo to sit and think about that. Like, why couldn't we be why couldn't I have been a cyclops?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you worried about things that are just out of your control. You know, don't worry about why this is like that. You understand? Right. The Lord had enough intelligence to give us 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth. Just believe he had enough intelligence in choosing us as his favorite people because he can do that. Now, let's drop that. I'm going to get, for time's sake, because I see everybody was on the time. Let's go to number 16 and 1. Let's go here first. Number 16 and 1. You let somebody else read right off the show. Number 16 and 1. Go ahead.
Numbers, chapter 16, verse 1. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men.
So what we read about right here is Korah. You understand? He is a brother. We're gonna find out what Korah is, who he is, and why he's significant in this story. Keep reading.
Verse 2. They rose up before Moses.
And they rose up before Moses. You understand? What does this mean when it says, and they rose up before Moses? Just somebody take a shot of it. What is it saying? And they rose up before Moses. Go ahead.
They stood in front of him?
Right. So, in better terms, what, Brock?
No, it's like when I heard rumors of like they came against Moses.
That's exactly what it is.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To raise up. It's down south, they'll say that. Well, you want to do something, raise up. Up north, depending where you at, square up. Buck, go ahead, buck. You feel a frog, you leap. Jump.
No, I just want to say this.
Jump. Yeah, bust a move. Raise up. Yeah, listen, that's how we've always spoken. Right? The Bible is the black man's book. This is our book. The Bible is saying these men rose up before Moses, meaning they came up against Moses. Now let's read about these men and how many it was of them and why they came up against Moses. You understand? For some history, Moses was a brother from the tribe of Levi. That would be today your so-called Haitians. You understand? Haitians are the tribe of Levi today, according to the Bible. Anybody from the West Indies, you understand? Trinidad, Jamaica, the Virgin Islands, some parts of Guyana, because some people there are Benjamites and some people are from South America. And then you got a lot of East Indians, which are not our people. You understand? If you're from the West Indies, you'll be from the tribe of Benjamin, according to the Bible. If you were so-called Negro in America, you are from the tribe of Judah. If you're Mexican, from the tribe of Issachar, and so forth and so on. Moses was from the tribe of Levi, and the Lord used Moses to deliver the Israelites out of the land of Egypt. You understand? Because black people were the slaves in Egypt. The same way we are the slaves in America. The same way we built America and made America great from our blood, sweat, and tears is exactly why Egypt was great. Because we were the ones that built the pyramids, that built the Sphinx, and built all these pyramids and structures and all this garbage. The Lord seen our suffering, and he used Moses to deliver us out of the land of Egypt into a land so that we can have our own land and be our own nation. So what we read about right now is our people in the wilderness with Moses. You understand? And you got to imagine, just imagine if not to say Donald Trump, he ain't president no more. It's a lie. Imagine if Joe Biden said all black people have to leave America and go to some island right now. What you are going to have is a fight for power.
Right.
You understand? Because now the people that are placed, like imagine Oprah now having to be with everyday average niggas now. You understand? The only reason why she has power because the white man has given her power. Go ahead. You understand? Like imagine now all our famous people have to be amongst the everyday people. You understand? You're going to have now a fight for power. All the drug dealers and thugs going to be like, well, hell. It's just us now. There's no law. We in the land that's just ours. So it's almost damn near a free-for-all. You understand? Well, in this case, the only thing that was stopping it from being utter chaos is the Lord choosing Moses to lead the people. You understand? The Lord always chooses one man to lead his people. That's all throughout the scriptures. You can find that all throughout the scriptures. The Lord chooses one man to lead the people, and then he disseminates the information down to the people on what they should do.
Right.
Moses was the man the Lord chose. Korah is now deciding to come up against Moses. Go ahead and read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly.
So Korah got 250 princes, right? Now, when it says princes, this is referring to the black people that had power in Egypt. You understand? Because remember when the Pharaoh told us to get out of Egypt, he was talking to every Israelite. Like every single black person had to leave Egypt. The rich, the famous, the poor, the broke, the sick, we all had to go. So now we read about how this brother Korah has taken with him 250 princes. Keep reading.
Famous in the congregation.
Famous in the congregation. Keep reading.
Men of renown.
Men of renown. So this brother Korah, he got all the people that were something special in Egypt. You understand? Just imagine a brother grabbing Will Smith and all the actors, you understand, and Beyonce and Jay-Z and all the black singers and all the black politicians, you understand? Meanwhile, we all together, but this one man is gathering all the people who had status in Egypt. Go ahead, Barack.
Salagi, I was in the restroom, but I believe these questions are related to the topic.
Go ahead.
Brother said online of assume says 3 questions, but they're all kind of back to back. It says, was Aaron a leader? How about the 12 apostles plus Paul? How about the 7 churches in Revelations? I wasn't.
He said, was Aaron a leader?
Yeah, he said, was Aaron a leader? How about the 12 apostles plus Paul? How about the 7 churches in Revelations?
I can answer your question as we continue to read. Go ahead. Keep reading. I'll answer your questions as we keep reading because it's going to tell you what Aaron was.
Verse 3. They gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron.
Now these people, this brother Korah took 250 of all the famous people, the people that you would call somebody in America. Of course, they're nobody because they're not in Egypt no more. You understand? But our people are so stupid. We viewing these people as something special when it's like you were only special because we were there. We not there no more, man. Well, you're not special. You're just a clone now. You understand? Like you can't get the white man's money because we don't live with them no more. We don't live in this country. You just like us. You understand? But our people still view them as famous. As it's like, oh snap! It's just like we were to leave America right now. Some of y'all would still be starting. Oh my God, that's Oprah. She out there boo-booing in the bushes just like you, but you still like Oprah over there boo-booing, y'all. Like she doing exactly what we doing. She ain't special. But our people not like that. We so carnal. We like, oh my gosh, we starstruck. Keep going, brother.
If I make Slocky, Aaron, but being that Moses had like a speech impediment, Aaron used to speak for Moses when the Lord would tell Moses to do something. So, I mean, if my best guess, I would say he was like, they were like a body together.
We'll read. It's going to tell us what it was. But you on to it. Keep reading.
And said unto them, yea, take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
So right here, Korah, and he's coming to Moses and Aaron, and they saying, you take too much upon yourself. You understand? What does that mean? Somebody break it down. Somebody say, you take too much upon yourself.
So like, sir, if I may, you're doing too much.
And yes, but in what manner are they referring to? Barack?
So like, this Moses, right? And they talking to
Moses.
Yeah, now what they trying to say is it's like no one man should have all that power.
There you go.
They trying to say that this brother, like you for them, yeah, you trying to take up too much power.
Listen, we said black people are known for saying this. Yeah. Who made you in charge? Right. Who made you the boss? Who are you? Right, that's niggas, man. Right. That's us to this day. Right. You can be at your job and your boss, your literal boss is talking to you. Like, who are you? That's us, man. I fight that demon because I want to keep my slave. I like hear my supervisor saying something in my head. I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, who made you in charge? And I was like, oh, forgot. Somebody did make him in charge here. You know, that's us as a people. Right. And they saying, Moses, you take too much upon yourself, man. Who the hell made you? Who made you in charge? Now, keep in mind, these are the same people that just witnessed the Lord use Moses to part the goddamn Red Sea into two. Right. These are the same people that just witnessed the Lord using Moses to send plagues onto Egypt. He witnessed all the firstborn of every Egyptian dying. These are the same people that just witnessed all this power from the Lord and him using Moses to do it. And how very quickly they forgot. This is who we are. We are stiff-necked people, hard-headed. Right. Keep reading. Well, so let's go back. So let me break this verse down. He said, Moses, you take too much upon yourself. Seeing all the congregation are holy. What are they saying? They said, seeing that all the congregation are holy. What are they saying?
We're special too.
Not that we're special too, but what does the word holy mean?
Separate.
Separate. So who is that pertaining to when it says separate?
Israel.
Israel. That's what they're saying. Who made you in charge when we all Israel? Right. All of us is niggas. We all black. So who put you over us? Since we all the same people. And so it says right here, wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. Like, who made y'all in charge of us? Since we are the congregation of the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
When Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, man. And what you're reading about right here is what's happening right now, today, in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. If you've been around long enough, you've heard Commanding General YAHANNA, the leader of this school, give the order that every camp is to come back together. That's right. Commanding General YAHANNA gave that order because this school is the home of the truth. Any other Israelite group that says they have the truth is doing what Korah and these men that follow Korah are doing. They looking at Commanding General YAHANNA. Just ask a fake Israelite. He'll tell you how he feels. He's like, well, what? How come we got to be underneath Commanding General YAHANNA to be in the truth? Who made him in charge? He trying to be over everybody. Literally the same thing they said about Moses, they say about Commanding General YAHANNA. Whenever he says all Israelite groups are to come back together. Go ahead.
Salaki, if I may. Benzi saying come back is because their leaders were already with the truth at first.
That's exactly why. Like when he says come back, we're not saying this because these are all separate groups and somehow we got split. Everybody that has an Israelite group somehow came from the I.S.U.P.K. Whether their leader was once in here or their leader was a part of a break-off group that was once in here. Because you got many fake Israelite groups now where they like break-offs of a break-off of a break-off. All right. You understand? That's why Commanding General YAHANNA says everybody come back home because this is where the truth was at. You had many cats leave because they thought to themselves, why is he in charge? Who put him in charge? Which is a wicked thing. I'm going to show you how wicked it is. Go ahead, Barack.
So, like, I got two things. The first, I'm going to say what I had to say, and then there's a brother that says something that was a compliment, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. But I was going to say, though, like, piggybacking on what you say was so heavy. Commander YAHANNA, with things that separate the I.S.U.P.K from all of these fake Israelite break-off groups, he has said a while back, years ago, and probably years before that as well, like every other fake Israelite group would go ahead and label the 2/3 that's destroyed.
Right.
And the I.S.U.P.K, like we give that opportunity. We try to put forth the foot to try to change the Lord's mind to save all of Israel.
Exactly.
And not the 2/3. And every other fake Israelite group
right.
are focused on that, man, they're already dead.
Exactly.
As if they have a solidified seat. Moses didn't have a solidified seat. And
exactly.
we seen what Moses
we
did.
seen what the Lord did to let Moses enter into the promised land. But Barak said it's so heavy. And this is how you know the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. And the Lord is what commanding General YAHANNA.
Right.
I'm going to play you a tape of what these fake Israelites say about fellow black people.
Damn right.
And that I'll show you. Commanding General YAHANNA has always said, while your leader and these other cats are saying death to the 2/3, and so they say that because that's in the Bible. The Bible says 2/3 of our people are going to die.
Right.
Are not going to make it when it's all said and done. That's in the scriptures. You understand? I'm not going to go there for time's sake because that's a whole different breakdown. Fake Israelite groups hear that, and because they hate their own people, that's one of their main teaching points. That's why 2/3 of you niggas gotta die. Right. You whores out there, you black women, you whores, you gotta die.
Right.
That's not what Christ came back for. Christ died so that that whore can change and not die. Christ died so that that drug dealer and that liar and that thief and that murderer could change, so that they didn't have to die. That is the true spirit of Christ. And you know who is the only one saying these things? Commander Jimmy.
That's right. Damn right.
Commander Jimmy. They're right. They deliver for righteous leadership. Because if that was the case, nigga, we all the 2/3.
That's right.
We all deserve death.
That's right. Come.
I listen. I can't look at your life. You know your life.
Right.
You know if we want to put the laws of the Bible right here and then put the actions of your life and put them side by side, you will find out that the brothers is dead. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. When you broke this law, you know you did this. The Bible says not to do that. You did this. The Bible says not to do that too. You can have a tally mark on just how you should just be dead many times over according to the law.
Right.
Christ came so that we have the time period to change, so that we didn't have to die. And that's what Commander General YAHANNA is telling our people. Come in here and change. If it's up to us, we can try to change the Lord's mind so that 2/3 of our people don't die because they change. So I go ahead, Barak first, and then Dwayne.
The brother online that said a couple minutes ago, he said, one thing I can say about the I.S.U.P.K is that you brothers are responsive to the public.
Brother, this is who we go out for. You fake Israelites, you go out and march and try to show off your numbers, and you wear your purple and your curtains, and you cut a hole in the curtain and put it over yourself and think that's a garment, or you wear your purple, and you go out in the ghettos and you march down the streets singing songs while black people are hungry, while black women are missing, while black men are being killed. You fake Israelites don't give a damn about black people. When we speak the way we speak, so aggressive and harsh, because we are trying to get our people to change. You understand? While you speak because you hate black people.
That's right. Yeah.
We're gonna play a clip. I'm gonna show you how they speak about black people, how they feel about black people. Right. Let's speed this up. I got more precepts. I ain't gonna break this down as much. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna speak on what you were saying.
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
One man is justified by the law. Only Jesus.
That's in the Bible. Only one man is justified by the law. And instead, if you were to put the letter of the law to all of our lives, we all deserve death. The only one who doesn't deserve death is Christ, because Christ was a black man from the ghetto, just like us, who followed the laws in the Bible perfectly. You understand? Christ wasn't no demigod. His father wasn't. God didn't have sex with Mary to create Christ.
Right.
The Bible tells you Christ came from Joseph and Mary.
Right.
Joseph and Mary had sex the same way you got here from your parents having sex. Like the white man has turned our records into Greek mythology and Roman mythicism. Well, that's not the case. Christ is the only one who was worthy enough, you understand, to die for us so that we could change. Let's finish this, and let me get my precept and get this video, because I got to get it in real quick on these cats. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Did I say verse 4?
We'll be there.
Verse 5. And he spake to Korah and unto his company, saying, even tomorrow, the Lord will show. The Lord will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he has chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Now Moses is saying to the people, since you think that you should be in charge and that you can come up against me, tomorrow the Lord is going to show who he has chosen. And who the Lord has chosen, they're going to come to him. Right. The people who the Lord has chosen, they are going to come to the right side. What you are seeing in the UPK is, brothers and sisters that's here, the Lord has literally chosen you out of our people. Because if he didn't want you, you wouldn't be coming over here. That's how the Lord works. I know it's hard to believe because we've been taught that the Lord is some hippie, that he just is all about love and happiness and rainbows and unicorns, when the Bible's going to tell you who the Lord is and what his real spirit is. Hold that. Give me Exodus. Hold that, Jose. Somebody give me Exodus 15:3. And just show you who we dealing with right here before we even get to the juiciness. You understand? Go ahead.
You want to wait and hold it?
No, whoever was reading. Slack.
No one to go to Exodus.
No sweat. What we got? Go ahead, read. Exodus 15:3.
God, no sweat. The book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
Read it again.
The Lord is a man of war.
Read it one more time.
The Lord is a man of war.
The Bible is saying the Lord is a man of war. I don't know about too many of you. War is never pretty. War is never, what's the word? Palatable. You understand? It's never hard. It's never easy to digest to a civilian. To a civilian to see what happens in war, it makes you think that we should never go to war. When life is all about warfare.
Right.
The God of the Bible is a man of war. While you think the Lord is somebody that can allow you to keep disrespecting him by going against what he says, you don't understand. That's why your life is hell. Right. That's why you suffer the way you suffer. That's why black children are murdered in the ghettos. That's why you struggle with depression and mental illness. That's why your mama got diabetes and had to get her foot cut off. That's why grandma got cancer. That's why we suffer the way we suffer. Because we fail to realize the true spirit of the God we serve. The Lord is a man of war. And one thing you better understand about a man of war, you do not want to be on the wrong side of a man that is a man of war. And what we witnessing in the black community is the Lord is against us. The Lord is absolutely against black people right now because we are on his wrong side, because we've chosen to go against what he has given us, which is the laws, statutes, commandments in the Bible.
Right.
Keep reading.
Salami.
Go ahead.
The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
The Bible says the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Now let's go back to Exodus. Numbers. We're using Numbers, right? Go ahead. Numbers. I brought that out so I can show you just how the Lord gets down. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 6. Numbers 16, verse 6. This do take you census Korah and all his company.
Now stop right there. Let me drop down so we can speed it up. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Go down to verse 20. Go down to verse 20. Go ahead.
Numbers 16, verse 20. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 21, separate yourselves.
Do what?
Separate yourselves.
Do what?
Separate yourselves.
Who gave this order to tell Moses to separate? Go ahead. The Most High. While you fake Israelites and you Christians and you hippies, that's what you really are. Black people that want everybody just to love and come together. That's not realistic. You're a hippie. That's not real, man. And it's against God. You understand? Why would you want us to come together with men that believe you can molest children? Why? We would never come together with a disgusting person like that. Why would you want us to come together with people that hate our people? Why would you want us to come together with a people that don't respect decency and order, that don't respect God? Read that again from the top, from verse 20.
Number 16, verse 20. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying,
the Lord spake to Moses and Aaron. This is what he told Moses and Aaron.
Verse 21. Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
The Lord told Moses and Aaron, separate yourselves from this congregation. The congregation is the people that thought that they could come up against Moses, the people that challenged the authority that the Lord had established. They don't understand when they came up against Moses, they were coming up against the authority that the Lord set up. Because the Lord is the one that put Moses in charge. If he wanted Korah in charge, he would have put Korah in charge. You understand? So right here, now the Lord told Moses and Aaron, listen, man, y'all separate from them cats. Separate from them. You understand? Because the Lord is going to deal with them. Keep reading.
Verse 22. And they fell upon their faces.
And
said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin? And wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
So right here now, Moses is pleading for everybody because the Lord is getting ready to kill everybody. You understand? But the Lord is pleading for everybody else to give everybody else a chance now to pick a side, right? Because Korah took 250 of the people. Yeah, remember, we had about 1 million of our people that came out of Egypt. You understand? So Moses is saying, Lord, don't kill everybody. Give everybody a chance to choose what side. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
Once again, the Lord is speaking to Moses. Keep reading.
Verse 24. Speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, the third, and Abiram.
Right. So right here, the Lord is telling Moses to tell the people to separate yourselves from the people that have disregarded the authority that I set up. The Lord is telling Moses, tell the people that they must separate from the people that don't respect what I have established. When you hear us say in the I.S.U.P.K, we are not affiliated with no other Israelite group. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you are not in the truth.
Right. Damn right.
You are literally watching us do exactly what the Lord commanded Moses. Because the Lord commanded us to do the same thing. Because we follow Christ. Anybody else that chooses not to be in here, they are not respecting the authority that the Lord has established. You understand? Because they left here. You understand? You can't say you have the truth when you left the truth. You understand? I can understand if Commanding General YAHANNA left and then he established the I.S.U.P.K. and now we the breakoffs. We are not the breakoffs. You're the breakoff. You understand? You left something that the Lord established. The same way Korah left what the Most High established with Moses. So now Moses is telling the people, you got to listen, separate from the people that have broken off from the Lord's authority, that have broken off from what is right. And if you listen to me right now, if you are not in the I.S.U.P.K, if you are in some Israelite group that claim to have the truth, that think they doing what's right, I'm telling you right now, separate yourselves from those groups because very soon you are going to find out that the Lord is not with those groups. Right. You understand? And for time's sake, it tells you that the Lord killed everybody that didn't separate. You understand? Right. I want to get to my other scriptures. Just get to the juiciness. The Lord killed the rebellious ones. You understand? And anybody that decided they wanted to side with the cats that was rebellious. You understand? The Lord killed them. You understand? That's who the Lord is. Give me Matthew 12 and 30. Now I'm going to show you. That's the Old Testament. You understand? Not that it means anything, but I'm doing it this way on purpose. Because Christians like to believe that God was different in the Old Testament versus the New Testament. I'm going to show you that God never changes. That's in the Bible. If you didn't know that. The scripture says the Lord never changes. Go ahead, sis.
My question is, historically, Black women we have been placed in some difficult situations. Presently, we are the least respected in every society. we are expected to do things that women from other races will not do with a smile on our faces.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to you is, we know about generational curses and how that is passed down. And just like Tamar, a lot of black women, we want that security.
Yeah.
We want our husbands to take care of us.
Right.
So my question finally is this. What is your message for black women in the American society?
What is the message for black women in the American society? That's a great question. You might got a precept for the sister? If not, what is the message for black women in American society? I'll give you 1 second, and then I'll get some couple scriptures for the sister.
What is the message for black women?
Yeah, while he goes, somebody give me Ephesians 5 and 22. Go ahead.
So like, I was gonna get a precept on what it is that the elder sisters should teach the younger sisters. What it is the message that should be for these sisters out here, and as they become an older age, and as they become, young women to become an older woman, to become an elder woman, what it is that they should leave behind to teaching these young women to be sober, to be, wives to their husbands. That precept right there is one of the precepts that I would use.
Okay.
One of them.
Somebody, so who somebody got Ephesians 5 and 22?
Come on, sir.
Get that. Somebody else hold 1 Timothy 3 and 11. Now let's go. We got Ephesians 5 and 22. Let's read that.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22.
This is the message for black women in America, wherever we are in captivity, because black women suffer wherever we are. And so the sister said it's so true. Wherever black women are on the face of the earth, they suffer. And a lot of people don't understand that's in the Bible. That's part of the curses written in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Bible said terrible things would happen to our people. Right. And it's one thing too we got to understand too. And this is not to you directly, sis, because I know you asking the question specifically. But one thing we don't want to get in the habit of doing is separating the black woman from the black man, because we are both in the same hell. It's just that we may look at it like as black men and black women, we've been taught to be put against each other. So now we're looking at it like, well, my struggle is worse than yours. Right. I have to do this and I have to do this. I suffer this. I suffer that. Well, that is causing us to not change anything. The moment we look at it, the Bible and the curses doesn't specify man and woman, does it? What does it say about who would suffer these curses? Israel. It's saying our people, black men and black women, are going to suffer these things. And so because black men suffer, black women suffer. Because black women suffer, black men suffer. Our suffering is directly intertwined. So just for those that's listening out there, never try to separate our suffering. You understand? And because black men suffer and black women suffer, guess who else suffers? Black children. Right. It's common sense, but the white man has taught us not to look and respect each other. So now we're looking at our problems and trivializing each other's problems when they're all our problems. What happens to the black woman is a black man's problem. What happens to the black man is a black woman's problem. Let's get Ephesians 5 and 22. Come.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
This is a scripture telling wives, and this is speaking to black, Hispanic, and Native American women. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, man. This is important to understand because black women have been taught that they don't even need a man. Like, it's important to understand the brainwashing, the game that's been run on you, black woman. Like, you've been taught to think that you're independent. You're strong, independent, and you can do this and do that. And black women don't understand that they've played into that so much that now they're forcing themselves to do things, like the sister said, that other races of women don't have to do. Right. There's an expectancy for black women to be strong and independent, to take on burdens that women should absolutely not take on. Right. This is part of the game that we've allowed to be played on our people. Right. You understand? Black women need black men. And the moment we run from that basis is when you find yourself in the cycle of now dysfunction. doing things that black women should not be doing, suffering things that black women shouldn't be suffering. The Bible says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands. Black women have to first understand that having a man is not a burden. Instead, having a man is a blessing. It's a beautiful thing. Understand? The Lord wants you to submit unto your husband. I know that sounds misogynistic to a lot of sisters because you are under the ideology of what white women teach. White women hate white men.
Right.
You understand? But they have enough sense to still go home to that white man. Instead, and still maintain their family. Black women, you have never suffered the oppression that white women have suffered. Like white women suffer under oppression of their man the way no other race of people suffers because the white man is the devil. You understand? Like, you laughing, but you don't want to hear the things these white women go through behind closed doors with these white men. You understand?
Right.
Black women, on the other hand, we suffer things we do things to each other because we're destroyed. Right. Black men have never had the authority in America to really oppress black women. You understand? Our struggle is more so, I hurt you, you hurt me type deal. Because we don't have authority in America like the white man has over his woman. The white man has full authority over his woman, so that's why he can pay her 75 cents while he paid other men $1. That's why he can make her do this and do that while he doesn't do the same thing for other men. Where black men, a lot of us are underneath the authority of black women. You know, when black women are living in another woman's house right now.
Right.
If that black woman said tonight, get your it and get out my house, that brother got to get his ish and got to leave. Because that's the reality that we live in. Our reality is not their reality. The moment we can separate the two, then we can understand their culture doesn't work for our people. Black women need husbands. Black women need a man in their life. Right. You understand? And once you have a man in your life, sisters, submit unto that man. Your own husband. You understand? Sisters get on Facebook and social media trying to please every other man when they have a man. You understand? For sisters that have a man, the man you lay down with is supposed to be the man you seek to please. You understand? That's what the Bible says. This is not my words. It sounds misogynistic, but this is just the scriptures. Right. The Bible is practical knowledge to end our suffering. Black women are suffering because black women don't want to submit to their husbands. Keep reading.
Come. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord. Many of them black women fill up them churches and say, I'm married to Jesus. Jesus is my husband. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. If they treated their husband, if he was so-called Jesus, and maybe it would be no problems in the marriage. You understand? Like black women have this thing where it's easy for them to submit to a mythical figure because it doesn't require any work. It's easy for a black woman to say, my husband is Jesus. Yeah, you ain't got to cook for Jesus. You ain't got to claim for Jesus. You don't have to put up with Jesus shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for you to submit to Jesus. But that nigga that you living with, though, when it's time for you to submit to him, now it's a problem.
Right.
When the Bible says, submit unto him as if, you were submit unto the Lord. And that's not a bad thing. That's the right thing. And I'll show you the balance of why it's supposed to be there. Because when black women do that, you'll see there's a flip side to what happens. Keep reading.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
For the husband is the head of the wife, man. This is the Bible. You understand? Black women, you try to put yourself in a position of authority when you should not be in that position when it comes to your household. Understand? Black women look at black men that have no money as useless and worthless. Now, when I say this, I'm speaking in general. There's so many sisters out there right now that take care of brothers. You understand? Take care of the man they with. But in general, black women believe that if he ain't making enough money, he's useless. If he doesn't have this or this or this, he's useless. You understand? When if he's your man, if you lay down with him, that's besides the point now.
Right.
That's your bum. You understand? You lay down, that's your bum, and you ought to submit to your bum because the Lord says so. For the sisters that are not married, this is why it's so important in who you choose. Before you have sex, which is marriage, you should find out, does he have the things that you will want? You are absolutely right in declining him. That's your choice.
Right.
Go find a man that has the things that you want. But once you get him, you're stuck with him. That's the Bible. You're stuck with him. So if you with a brother right now that he don't do what you want, and you stuck with him already, maybe you should try submitting to him. Maybe you should try loving him like the Bible says. Maybe it might change it. So many sisters are stuck on bashing black men that they don't understand that them following this is the start to changing our situation, because it's like a black man taking charge of his household causes a black woman to submit, and black women submitting causes a black man to take charge of his household. It's a balance the Lord put in place that has to be there. Go ahead.
It's like so time check 8:53.
At the what? Keep reading.
Come. Even as Christ is the head of the church.
Even as Christ is the head of the church. Black women can understand that when you say Christ is the head of the church. That's right. That's right, Jesus. But the moment you say the black man is the head of the house, then it's like, the wires start crossing and some sort of malfunction. Well, he gotta make enough money, but no, it didn't say that. Right. It didn't put contingencies on you submitting to your man. You understand? If he is your husband, then you are to submit to him. Keep reading.
Come. And he is still Salakia. And he is the savior of the body.
He is the savior of the body, man. Sisters don't understand that black men are meant to be here to save black women. While black women want to bash black men, you are bashing the man that is put here to protect and save you.
Right.
That goes against the very sense of self-preservation. And this is not black women's fault. You understand? It's your fault for feeding into it now. But this was a game that has been run on our sisters, man. Because the white man knows the moment a black woman separates herself from her protection, from her, you know what I'm saying? The person is supposed to save her from these troubles and burdens. Now he can get her by herself and do whatever he wants to her. Now look at how we raise. Black women raising children by themselves. That's why child molestation is so rampant in our community. Because black women are by themselves raising children.
Right.
And when you by yourself, just imagine for a woman, you looking for anybody to come help you with this burden of taking care of a household by yourself and raising kids. So black women make terrible decisions in choosing the next man to come back in that house. And a lot of them choose child molesters. And now your children grow up. And now your children are destroyed. And a lot of them carry on the same things that happen to them. All because we don't understand that the Lord has established order. Go ahead.
Abortions also.
Abortions. That's a big one. We killing our entire population. 350,000 abortions every year from black people. Do you know how many people that is? Like literally, we are destroying entire cities of our people every year. And we don't see the problem with it. Because the white man has separated the black woman from the black man. So now she's forced to think in survival mode. The same way we forced to think in survival mode. And survival mode doesn't work for our people. Survival mode is why we're destroyed. What we had?
We had also Matthew 12 and 30, sir.
No, I didn't want to go there. I want to get some more for the sister. Go to
First Timothy 3 and
11. Go ahead, Dwayne.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 11. Even so much their wives be grave, not slanderous, sober, faithful in all things.
Even so must their wives be grave. What does it mean to be grave? You know, sis?
I missed that scripture.
There's no sweat. No sweat. What does it mean? Anybody know? What does it mean to be grave? It's old English. Go ahead.
I'm going to take a guess, but it's like, I guess, scared or...
To be serious.
Okay.
You are in grave danger.
Gotcha.
You understand? That's what grave means. No sweat. It's old English, so a lot of us don't know. That's what the Bible is saying. Black women are to be grave, to be serious. Are black women serious right now, as in general? No. You got sisters twerking in public in restaurants,
right?
Shaming them on. Like I can understand if these sisters was getting pimped out by brothers and like, listen, you better go in there, you better twerk for everybody in that restaurant. Sisters now are to the so destroyed where they go and prostitute themselves. Everything is, hey, yes, and all this. You hear it all the time. And, you know, women, this is not saying women can't have fun. This is not what the Bible's saying. But look at the times we're in right now. It's a time and season for everything. And the time we're in right now is a time for seriousness because our people are in grave danger. 70,000 black women are missing in America right now. Why the hell would you not be serious the moment you leave your door? You understand? Black women think they can leave the house at all times of night by themselves or wear whatever they want to wear. I understand that what you wear shouldn't have caused you to be raped. That's in a perfect society. The problem is we live in the white man society. So what you wear does determine how people treat you.
Right.
People see you more revealed and they see you as a piece of meat. That's the reality. Now, in our kingdom, in the Bible, that will never be that. You understand? A sister will never be raped. You understand? She'll never be violated. But we're not in our kingdom yet. That's why we're in here doing this. Because we are establishing our kingdom. A nation set apart from this wicked place. Sisters have to be serious-minded, man. Serious about everything. Because everything is serious. Keep reading.
Caught on the car. Not slanderous.
Stop. Don't skip over that, brother. Because this is Black Women to a T right now. Not what?
Not slanderous.
What does slander mean, sis? Gossiping. You know, I heard such and such. You know, he was sleeping on her for a minute anyways. Girl, this is the thing right here. Not a fat girl. And she turned around with kids in the room. Go there. Turn around. Yeah, girl, but I seen him coming up the back of their house. And then he was driving her car when she went to work. Oh, girl, let me tell you. Black women have become that. And that's not the Lord wants. That is absolutely shameful. Black women are supposed to be sisters to other sisters. Lifting up other sisters. Like before Black women can say they being done anything by Black men, they would have to first say, we doing this to other Black women.
Also, you have to think about the effects of racism in this country.
That's a big thing.
Black women have been set against each other.
That's what we're talking about, sis.
Globally.
That's what we're talking about.
It is still present.
This is what we talk about the whole time. We ain't blaming our sisters. We're talking about what has been done to our people that we now continue to do to each other. You understand? There was a point in time, you read about in the scriptures, where two Black women shared a man. Now imagine how far gone we are from that. Where you love a Black woman so much that you can share a man. Now I'm not talking about y'all sleeping all having a threesome. That's a sin.
Right.
I'm talking about this is your husband and this is her husband too. When he comes to see you, he sees you. When he sees her, he sees her. Black women can't even compute that. They might share a man. Because that's how far gone we've gone from our culture. When two Leah and Rachel shared Jacob. You understand? And they even bargained on who would get him certain days. We're not there no more because we've allowed a people to take us away from our culture and give us their culture, which is to hate your own people. White women hate each other. We hate each other to a T. That's why they're so fake. They talk to each other. You just sit and watch white people how they talk to each other. It's like, are they naturally this sarcastic, or they so sarcastic to each other? Oh, okay, bye. Okay, see ya.
Right.
Effing bitch. You know, they do that. That's them. You know, I'm not making this up. They hate each other.
Right.
White men hate each other. You seen that video where that white man killed that white man and woman because they were shoveling snow on their side? Y'all seen that? That is the true spirit of the white man, how they do each other. We think they are so close together because they know to come together against us.
Yes.
But when it's just them amongst them, they can't stand each other. White on white crime needs to stop, white people. Y'all need to get it together because y'all hate each other. But we've taken that spirit, and now Black people look at each other and hate each other. You got fake Israelite groups that won't even let you in their group if you don't even have a job. I'm making this up. IUIC, since y'all want to confront people, how come you ain't letting in brothers in your group? If y'all got the truth, answer me this. If you're supposed to have the truth and the salvation for Black people, why are you denying it to the people who would need it most? The brothers that's unemployed. You know why? Because they are under the spirit of our oppressor. They hate Black people.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, that's who Yahawashi went to. The gunner.
Brother, forget who he went to. Christ didn't have a job. Christ said out of his own mouth in the scriptures, I don't even have anywhere to lay my head.
Right.
Christ was a brother that traveled and stayed in people's houses. Instead, he didn't have a job because he was sent here to do the Lord's work. If Christ was here on earth, the IUIC would say, you can't come in here, brother. Wow. Brother, we got some applications, and McDonald's is getting our applications, Christ. You might want to get it popping with that application before you come in here. That's the spirit of them. They hate our people. We taking that spirit on. Like the sister said. Racism. That's what we're fighting against. Where we at? Slanderous. The sister should not be slanderous. Go ahead. Sober. Sisters hate to hear this. I know a lot of you sisters out there, if it ain't a blunt, you can't go to sleep without getting drunk off of some Merlot or some Chardonnay. You understand? There's nothing wrong with drinking, but you are not allowed to be a drunk or getting high. Okay. You know how many sisters out here popping pills and getting high and being drunk? I never understood how a black woman who knows people out here hunting you, and you go out in public with just girls, and you all drunk. It's foolish. And the white man allows this to take place because he knows it's easy to destroy our sisters when it's like this. A sober black woman is a black woman that's dangerous. You think those white men were letting those sisters in NASA get drunk when they was doing the calculations? No. Them black women that he had doing all them calculations to send him to the moon, it probably was a strict no alcohol policy. They probably was drug testing them all the time because he wants them sober when it comes to doing something for them. But when it comes to them benefiting their people, yeah, give them the drugs, give them the pills, let them have fun. The girls will be girls. When that's not the case, the Lord wants you to be sober, sis. Be present-minded about what you're saying, what you're doing, how you're feeling. Keep reading.
Faithful in all things.
Faithful in all things. Sisters right here have a hard time with this. And once again, this is the weakness of America that has been taught to us. The moment something gets hard for a sister, I'm done with that.
Right.
You know, when black women quit a job, because black women get jobs easy. That's one thing I can say about black women. They are some working people. Mm-hmm. They'll work. Don't let it be a Benjamin. So where you from, sis?
Seriously?
Yeah, where you from?
Jamaica.
Listen, get a sister a hand. Try to Benjamin. Don't let it be a Benjamin, sister. My real Benjamin, she's from Jamaica too, and they work 2-3 jobs. If they not working 2 jobs at a time, they lazy and they head. You're whatless. You're whatless. You understand? Like women are some working people. You understand? And this right here is telling our sisters, like, you have the capacity to do great things. And you do great things when it comes to our oppressor. Like black women make America rich. They the ones that's building these companies for these white men. They the ones doing all the record keeping, all the file keeping. And how do you think sisters come up with all these skills to find people on black Twitter? And some sister somewhere that's been underneath some white man for years that had never got her due promotion and pay. She then got all these skills from following the white man and being faithful to her slave. The problem is when it's time for her to be faithful to Tyrone at the house, then she just can't do it. I can't do it. Sis, you better apply that faithfulness to all things in life. Stick it out because this is what matters. You slaving for some white man, you're gonna die. And then that's just that. You being faithful to your family, to your people, to your children, that's what you're gonna be remembered for. And there's sisters in the Bible that are mentioned in the scriptures because of their faithfulness in all things, chiefly to their people.
Right.
This is what a sister's supposed to be. Now, these are some small things that we can go into. Give me the scripture where her foot didn't touch the ground. Everybody know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you how sisters used to be and how we used to treat our sisters. Go ahead.
You want me to hold 12?
No, we ain't got time to get to that.
Okay.
We're gonna do a part 2 because we banging on them cats next class because they hate black people and black people need to know you should separate from these people.
Yeah, right.
You understand? Get me Deuteronomy 28 and 56. Let me show you what black women used to be. Because you know the Bible is talking about black people. So if we want to find out how we used to be, it only makes sense to go in the records in the scriptures to find out how black women used to be and how black women used to be treated. Whoever got it, go ahead and read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender.
The what?
The tender.
The what?
The tender.
Somebody pull up the definition of tender real fast. Definition of tender. Of course, we all know it, but I want you to hear what exactly tender means. because it's talking about black women.
Right.
And you wouldn't think this is describing a black woman because what we see today is not this. And it's not her fault. But at some point, you have to say, sis, a game's been run on you. Now, what are you going to do now? Are you going to continue to perpetuate the destruction that has been played on you and other black women? Or are you now going to hear reason and return back to what the Lord intended for black women? You understand? What the definition of tender?
Oh, when you're looking it up.
Tender. Showing gentleness.
Showing what?
Showing gentleness.
Showing gentleness. Ooh-wee. This is hard for a lot of sisters because black women, I gotta speak my mind. I gotta say what's on my mind and get this off my chest. This is a lot of these.
Right.
A lot of the come ears. A lot of these, the head motions and all that. I gotta say what's on my chest, and because you need to hear. Black women pride themselves on how bad they told somebody off. That's how bad it is. Girl, let me tell you, I cussed his MF and tail out. I laid it out, girl. Oh, you did, huh? That's why everybody hates you everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? They can never compute that, man. That's why everybody hates you. You're the problem everywhere you go. And nobody's ever loved you enough to tell you the truth because you're not gentle. Keep reading the definition of tender.
Showing gentleness and concern.
Oh my goodness. That's a skill, just to be concerned. What black women say now? It is what it is.
Right.
Damn, show some concern. It's okay to care. It's a good thing to care. But once again, we are so destroyed that what are we in? Survival mode.
Right.
So in order for you to keep surviving without breaking down from suffering the atrocities you suffer, you have to tell yourself it is what it is. You don't have time to have concern for feelings, let alone other people's feelings. You don't have time to acknowledge your own feelings. And that's the destruction that we face, especially black women. When women are emotional already. So imagine a woman that's an emotional being now lives in an environment where she has to deny her essence, pretty much, who she is. To be emotional, you understand, just to survive. Not saying being emotional is good or bad, because there's good emotional, bad emotional. In this case, showing concern is good. You understand? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Comment. We've been in this slavery for so long, and the black man has been so destroyed. Like you say, our women has been in survival mode. We've been living in dysfunction for so long that we think that it's normal for the woman to be the head of the household right now, and the man is down, and that's why we get treated the way we do. So this is it's so heavy.
What do you mean when you say that's why we get treated the way we do?
As far as being slandered, you ain't nothing. You ain't got no job.
Okay,
you ain't bringing nothing to the table.
Yes and no. That is absolutely wicked for a sister to base her respect off of what a man has. That is absolutely wicked. Once again, if Christ was on the earth, would she respect Christ? No. We would like to say, every woman would say, yeah, I would respect Christ if he was on the earth. When all actuality, you wouldn't respect that nigga with braids and a beard who's sleeping on your couch and sleeping on that couch and gotta go here and go there. You would say, go get a job. And he'll tell you the work of the Lord is my job. You bum. You bum. You wetness. Get out of here.
Right.
They wouldn't respect Christ either, but that's wicked. A brother's value is not based on what he has, but who he is. That's why women get with men. I'm not making this up. Women get with men that have finances or have something steady, and he's disgusting as a person. Meaning he'll molest your kids. You know what I'm saying? He'll do all type. He'll beat you. You understand? A lot of women, they trade this for this. When you, as a woman, you should seek a righteous man, not a rich man. Riches come and go. You understand? Find a man with an honorable character. That man is always going to win. He's always going to win. Look at brothers in here. Half of us is broke. Hey, I'm waiting on the stimmy. I'm gonna act brand new when the stimmy drop. I'm telling you right now. I might lose my character. You know, when you broke, you got to be honorable. I might get the stimmy and get rid of this honorable. Like, who you talking to? Oh, you a bum out here. you know, throwing dollar bills in people's face. Oh, you a bum out here. Go get yourself something nice. Now, I'm joking, of course. But brothers in here, man. We're not the richest men in here, but you can guarantee brothers in here will not touch your children. Brothers in here will not steal from you.
Right.
Brothers in here will not lie to you.
Right.
That's a big thing. Black women love that Derek Jackson. That simp. Y'all know who that is. You know what that is, sis?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, black women was falling for that simp. And look, he was doing what he was telling black women not to do. He was cheating on his woman. Meanwhile, he dogging every black man. Sister, that's a perfect example of what y'all want in your ignorance. You want a man that has the money and has the stability and talks a good talk. But you don't want the man that's going to tell you, yes, I got more than one woman. Yes, I'm broke. And you should submit. You don't want that man that's going to be honest. That's going to be real. Listen, it's hard body. I know. And for a sister that's in this captivity, I can understand it almost, but it doesn't make it right. That's the reason why you destroy. You pick the men you pick, and the reason why you ain't with a man right now because you are bad at picking. You have terrible judgment. If you had good judgment, you wouldn't look for a man that's going to provide you with the things that you think is security. Right. Real security is righteousness. And only a man that serves the Lord can give you what you really need as a woman. You understand? So many women that got men with money right now and are miserable. Imagine you get with a man that got money, then you find out he wants you to strap on a dildo and violate him and all type of garbage. And he's not even into women. A lot of women so you want the money. You think the money gonna make you happy? I know it's a lot of sisters out here, the DMV in particular, that got all these careers working for the government, making $100,000, $150,000 a year by themselves, and they have to drink a full bottle of wine to go to sleep because they are so miserable. I'm not making this up. I talk to them all the time and turn them down, of course, because they do not respect what the Lord respects, which is a righteous man. You gonna say something, sis?
Why should black women become members of I.S.U.P.K?
Because in here, black women have one guarantee, that they will get what they will never get in the world. And that is, black women will never be lied to in here. No black woman in here will ever be raped or violated. And black woman in here will get the goddamn truth. Right. As harsh as it is, a sister in here will get the truth unfiltered every single time. And just that, you're the Lord in here. You understand? And sis, you'll be so surprised how the world lies to black women. The world panders and lies to black women to keep black women like children. You understand? Well, in here, we'll tell you, sis, you a grown woman, sis. You deserve the truth. Sis, you should stop. Maybe you should stop talking. That's why it's so beautiful. If the sisters call in here and get counsel, and they'll tell a story, and they don't like to hear their husbands give them counsel, because in here, brother be like, well, you was being a bitch. Why was you being such a bitch to everybody? And a sister in the world, she called her boyfriend or called her homegirl. She, yeah, girl, they was wrong. You should have went off this. Black women don't need that. Black women need the truth. You should stop talking to them like that. You should talk nicer. You should do this. And you'll see, just ask the sisters in here, just how being told the truth has changed their life. Sis, I can't give examples because, in D.C., we don't really deal with sisters like that as much as, it's real rough here in D.C. But ask sisters in other cities. We got a couple sisters here, brothers' wives in here. They'll tell you, what I'm saying? Being told the truth is just so invaluable because you're not going to get it anywhere else. Derek Jackson is a perfect example. Black women love that simp. They love that nigga, and he's been lying to them forever. You understand? Right. Now, a lot of black women I heard about it. I know because I've been on Facebook reading the comments, laughing. I can't believe this. You put forth this image like they mad, like he ain't mad. But that shows you black women have been taught to love a lie, and a lie has never benefited anybody. You understand? It's like you going to the doctor and you got a tumor in your head, and the doctor tell you, "Oh, it's going to go down." They try to spare your feelings to know you about to die or you need this done. Well, no, really, it's just a bump that it'll go down. I don't need to hear that, man. I need to hear the truth, so maybe I can save my goddamn life. You'll get that in here, sis. Go ahead, Barack.
Salagi, if I may too. Like, just to pick up what you're saying was so heavy. Like, the sisters that come up in here, like, where the Black Panthers went wrong, where every Christian church gets wrong is when they allow their oppressor up in there, when they allow a heathen up in there. up in the ISUPK, you don't have to end up like that Sister Joy Morgan.
That's right.
In the IUIC. You understand? You don't have to end up chopped up with vegetables and hot juice till it becomes some soup, or whatever the case may be. In here, we don't allow a heathen or another nation to sit with us. You know what I'm saying? And that is where the Black Panthers, the Christian organization, religion, other fake Israelite groups have failed because they have allowed their oppressor or a heathen in the association. In the ISUPK, if you ain't Black, Native, or Hispanic, this ain't for you.
That's right.
This ain't somewhere you can come and we're gonna welcome you.
That's right. No sweat. When the brother said, and it's so heavy, what he mentioned was something that actually happened to a Black woman in the Israelite group that we're talking about, the Purple Cats, IUIC. This Sister Joy Morgan, such a young, beautiful sister that was intelligent and full of potential.
Damn right.
Had her whole life ahead of her.
Damn right.
And because they let Africans into their group, which the Bible says we are not the same people as Africans. You understand? If you go to the history, it's a whole different class. But because they went against the Bible and let Africans into their group, an African man murdered Joy Morgan.
Right.
Hid her body.
Right.
You understand? All because he was afraid that she was going to tell on him that he was sleeping with her and another woman. You understand? Like, he killed that sister in cold blood and then hid the body. They couldn't find the body for a couple months.
Right.
Found her body in a wooded area. Found what was left of her in a wooded area. That never will happen in here. You understand me? The water. That will never happen in here. In here, sister can guarantee that what you get in here is order.
Damn right.
Something that Black women absolutely need in their life. Right. Structure, order, the truth. Those are just a couple of things. But it's one of the things where sisters got to stick around long enough to see it really benefit their life. You know what I'm saying? You stick around, just like brothers too. The same thing sisters need, brothers need. Like what we saying for the sisters is exactly what brothers need. That's the thing about the truth. It's not gender specific. The truth is the truth for you, your woman, your child, everybody.
Right.
We all need structure, order, discipline, and to be told the goddamn truth. You know how many brothers can benefit in telling them, brother, that's weak. Brother, don't do that. Don't say that, brother. Brother, be quiet. You know how many brothers can benefit from just being told that? Brothers gotta hear it too. The sister laughing and she like that. But brother, be totally quiet. We all need to hear it. Black men alike.
Right.
But nobody tells us the truth. It was a point in time when our older generation used to be like that. I remember in the old days, the old heads would see certain boys walking, and he'd walk a certain way or do something like this. Stop walking like that. Yep. Old head, don't want to know the boy. You like that, but hey, quit walking like that, man. Put your goddamn hand down, man. Hold your fist up. You know, walk like this. Keep walking like this. That brother, did it hurt his feelings? Absolutely. He went home and probably cried. Did it stick with him? Absolutely. He stopped walking like that. You understand? That's what we need as a people, and that's the UPK. To stop our people from self-destructing. Because if you were to make your own decisions the way you're doing now, you're going to self-destruct. Don't believe me? Just go back in the world and find out for yourself. What's the scripture we on? Let me finish this up. You had something up?
Salagi, if I may. I missed one part that I meant to add on that situation. Just like the Christian church with Joy Morgan, what it is that we offer, and I've seen it happen with Officer Malak. I've seen it happen with a lot of brothers and sisters, that we actually give that stretch for justice. The IUIC, and just like the Christian church and a lot of other Israelite groups and all of that, they didn't offer that family of Joy Morgan any assistance to find her body. Any assistance, any form of your daughter trusted us to make sure that she remained safe and she learned the truth. And when this happened to her, they didn't offer. They ignored her family's calls.
Exactly.
They ignored it. So I wanted to add it. It was itching me to add that.
We're going to go to the next class. I was supposed to get into that tonight because that's going to go into the whole breakdown of why we separate ourselves from other Israelite groups.
You're right.
Because we tell you, if it's not in here, you're not in the truth. You can suffer what everybody else will suffer, which is death eventually. Destruction. You understand? Like in here, you'll get justice.
You're damn right.
There's absolute justice in here.
Right.
You're not allowed to be harmed in here or be violated. Yeah. We can't finish it off for the time's sake. Part 2, next Tuesday. You understand? We're going to get it in. Go more into this. That's a good question, sis. Hopefully, if you're back, we get some more into it because it's a lot more. We just went for the surface level right now for the time's sake. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Salaki, if I may, we may not have got into what you wanted to get into, but it was enough information on them, between us and them, that I think we pretty much got a point across.
Hey, Most High Christ, the brother say that, then Most High Christ, but brother, let me tell you something, brother. That's not enough in here, brother. They got to get the full, the whole 9 yards. Like, we got to break it all the way. I got a couple of video clips to show you. I got a couple articles to show you. You understand? I got a couple affidavits, court documents to show you. Brother, I got the whole lineup to show you why Hebrew Israelites can't get along. Because we will never side with an organization that will allow a black woman to be murdered and then turn around and not seek justice for the sister. You hate black people, man. And you hate black women. And all of you are gay in that organization.
Damn right.
Did I mention that earlier? I forgot to mention that. All of you are gay. You hate women in general.
Damn right.
That's why you let her get murdered, because you don't give a damn about a woman. I'm surprised y'all not selling them to everybody. Right. Because you hate vagina and you hate women. Right. That's what we love women in here so much. Ain't no woman getting killed up in this bad boy. Damn. Let alone get violated. You can't even talk to a sister once she come in here. Don't believe me? Security announcements, find that. Watch this. Go pass the class over to priest and officer on a watch.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only.
When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. Meaning, when they are to be saluted only, it ain't no cross talking here. Hey, what's up, sis? What you doing later on? None of that in here. You know why? Because our focus for our people is to change. And when you first coming from the world, you don't need distractions. It's a distraction. Imagine a sister coming in here and she has a sex addiction. Or imagine a brother coming in here, he has a sex addiction or some type of deviancy or something they are fighting to get rid of. The last thing they need is something to fuel that. So in here, when we say they are to be saluted only, when you see a sister in here, a brother in here, Shalom, brother, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Alatah Bahashim Yahweh Shah, which only means, Yahweh, which is the Lord's name, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless you. That's the salute. And after that, it ain't no talking between men and women in the first 6 months. That lets you know at the top in here, we take our people serious. Like a sister can come in here and not worry about her being harassed or hollered at. Sisters, you need a break from it. You don't understand you need a break from it. You need a break from it, sis. You need a break to change and get clean. And brothers hollering at you is going to give you the illusion that you're just fine when you are not just fine. You need to change. That's why you're here. So because of that, the brothers too. I'm just saying specifically for sisters, how we show you how we protect our sisters in here. 6-month rule is perfect. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world.
They're here to change, man. Give them a chance to change. Keep reading.
Come. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister.
What you're reading about right here is what we all needed coming up before we started having sex. Order, discipline. Imagine if somebody had to get permission to come speak to you. You wouldn't have gotten with a lot of the low lifes you would have been with. How many men and sisters regret being with? You ask a woman. Men don't regret as much as women do. Men be like, that happened. That's just, that's shorty, Sisters, on the other hand, they try to forget whole situations. Like, oh, girl, don't remind me about him. Dang, girl, I forgot about him too. Oh, dang, girl. Just imagine if if those men had to come get permission from somebody that cared about you before they can get with you. You wouldn't have been with them. That's what we do in here. We return to our biblical culture and return the order and the structure and it being honorable again. You understand? Keep reading.
Come. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other.
Now, this is something that's unfamiliar to us because once we date somebody, that's just us sleeping with people. You meet somebody, and a lot of us have met somebody and then slept with them that night.
Right.
You know, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's just not wise. It's absolutely unwise. And here, that's not allowed. You have to court a brother and sister. And in that courtship, there's no sleeping together. There's no physical touching. You understand? It's you going out to get to know these people, going on dates in public places. You understand? Doing everything that we should have been doing as teenagers. But we've been robbed of even being children and developing and growing the way we should have because we live in a deviant culture in America. You understand? We was doing grown-up stuff too early, folks. You know what I'm talking about. This right here, they're right. Get them UPK in. You understand? That's wisdom. We read about wisdom in the UPK. This is wise. Anybody that's offended by this is coming in here with bad intentions. Somebody to hear this has to take place. If somebody's upset by this, they are coming in here to do bad things anyway. They come in here still not trying to shed themselves with the world. I heard this. First time I heard this, I was like, this is absolutely amazing. Right. I wished my father would have known this to teach me this coming up. You know? Exactly. I wish somebody was there to give me this protection because it's hard out there for brothers too. You know how many brothers that got hustled and swindled? Brothers get their heart broke too, goddamn it. I'm just saying. Brothers get their heart broke too, man. Mm-hmm. Brothers ain't gonna look. Brothers quiet. They don't want to admit. Keep reading. Some of y'all start thinking. If I see when I go to the bathroom, I know what it is. brother crying in the bathroom. There's no sweat, brother. We gonna still love you when you come out. Go ahead.
These security announcements automatically separates us from those fake Israelites.
Get a brother a hand. That's what I'm trying to say. If I'm speaking too much, where I'm missing the point. We are not what everybody else is because we bring honor the way the Bible tells us to back to our people. Right. This is absolutely honorable. Imagine you in a courtship and y'all dating for 6 months and you realize I really don't like this person. You break off. You've never had sex. You've never touched. So nothing is lost but 6 months. 6 months is not a long time, folks. Some of y'all done wasted 3 years on relationships that went nowhere. Right. 6 months in the grand scheme of things is not a long time. You understand? It could be shortened too, but I'm saying like you have a time period where you get to actually know people. So you know if this is going to work or not. Is this compatible or not? Because once the deed is done, it's forever. Ain't no takebacks. Keep reading.
After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. April 24th is the 52nd Passover in Houston, Texas.
That's right. That's right. Pay your Passover fund. It's $200 per person, 17 and older. I know it sounds like a lot. This is about 4 days of straight up events. Horseback riding, going to the gun range, archery, pool party, mansion party. It's 4 days of events. $200 is not a lot, folks. Some of y'all spend $200 come Friday on that weed. You understand? I know it. So do something, pay money for something that's righteous, and you get to enjoy righteous brotherhood and sisterhood. You understand? Go ahead. You got something?
We can bring our own guns. Legal guns.
Call me offline about that.
Gotcha.
We got to speak about that because it's, of course, you know we're going to be in Texas, so you're absolutely good, but you driving the transport is what we got to talk about because we don't want you to take that down there and you get jammed up. You understand? So call me so I can remember to talk about it.
Wow.
52nd annual Passover, 17 and older, $200. Anybody under 17 is free. All Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are invited to this Passover. Even you purple Israelites. You understand? The order has coming out that come back home.
Right.
You understand? Maybe you can save your life if you understand where you're at right now is not right, man. Where you're at is going to cause your destruction. Come back home. You can come to the Passover, man, but don't come on no foolishness now. I'm telling you, don't come to the Passover on foolishness. We just read the Lord is a man of war. We men of the Lord in here. So what does that tell you? I'm just telling you. We don't just read the Bible in here. Go ahead.
I mean, Salaki, what if they come in purple? Is that permitted?
Brother, they there. It's a start.
I'm just wondering.
And what if a brother came in purple right here? You gonna turn him away? Would you turn him? I'm asking. Would you turn him away? If you was on security and the brother came in through purple, you turn him away?
No.
No, honestly, would you turn him away?
No.
You let him come. It's like brothers come in here, whatever. Sisters come in here, whatever. He won't come back again with purple, you know. But he can come the first time in purple, right. You know. And let me say something too. It's nothing wrong with the color purple. It's just that in the spirit of those cats, they make it a bad thing. You understand? But purple is just a color, just like any other color.
Yeah, actually, on the gay flag, purple actually means the spirit
of homosexuality. That's exactly what it means. Well, you know, we won't get into that. That's one of my next class. Y'all trying to get me checked because the captain gonna be like, in the class, in the class. Right. I want to go into it because I had a whole layout for y'all. Go ahead.
We continue in next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, we're going right into it. You understand? We're gonna pick up right where we left off. Go ahead. Keep reading. Slocky. Besides the Passover, no, that's it. Go ahead.
What do we send the fees to the people that don't know?
If you are in touch in a physical location of a school, pay your Passover fund in person. You understand? If you cannot get to a physical location, you will pay your tithes at one cash tag, one West Ties. We now have the option to pay it on Zelle. Go on Facebook. A lot of brothers have shared it on how you can, the instructions on how to pay it through Zelle. You understand? I don't have it. I'm thinking about getting it myself just to have it, but you know, there's different ways you can do it. Go ahead, keep reading.
Come. Remind Akim and Akwafim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother or sister wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband or scarf, and with that, say a miser.
Which means to stand.
Just for the brothers. Sister, you can stay seated. Do one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Amidu Shabbat, Amidu Barak,
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barakatham. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barakatham.
Amidu Yazmatah, Sar, which means to turn. Sister, you can stand up. Face us.
So what you do, sis, you face this way, put your right hand over your left like this. No sweat. There you go. You got it. And then what you'll say is we're going to give one courtesy salute, brothers. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. So, men of Israel, Amidu Shabbat, Amidu, Barak,
Yahweh Shamar, Alathan.
So what you'll say is Yahweh, Shamar, Alathan, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And what you just said, what we just said to you is Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, watch over you and keep you. You understand? Yahweh is the Lord's name. Yahweh Shai is Christ's name in the Hebrew. And you just said the same thing back to us. That's the salute. With Desmatah, with that, class dismissed. Outside Christ. Let me go ahead and walk y'all out real quick. So like I know you went over. Gotta put the chairs up real quick and walk y'all out. We get to go into it, man.
I know.
we get too long.
The Lord loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hand, I will come and deliver the broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to
Young niggas ain't tough. Young niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barakatham. Yahweh Shema Alathan Ba'Hashem Yahushua to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000 that called up around, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK under Commander Junior Hunter.
You know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on. I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander Junior Hunter under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do.
2021, I.S.U.P.K, 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy. You dealing with the